guys, today's video is about an overview of manifestation and a slightly different perspective that sometimes we forget about or that you may not have even thought about at all. And it's about the concept and principle of the law of assumption working 24/7 in our lives. Remembering the fact that we are always manifesting and there's no such thing as not being able to manifest. And I'm going to go into all of that in today's video, give you guys some advice and my perspective and maybe some things to remember throughout your manifesting journey, because it is a 24/7 thing. So I'm going to get into all of that. Please do thumbs up and subscribe, turn on the notification bell if you enjoy this content, if you want me to keep making manifestation videos with advice. Do thumbs up and subscribe, it would mean a lot to me. And yeah, if you keep the notification bell on, you'll know every time I upload new content. And I try and reply to, as soon as I publish my videos within the first few hours, I try to reply to as many people as I can. So that's another good reason to keep the notification bell on. I also offer coaching. If you do want to coach with me, the prices, the list of my packages, these, coaching services, everything that I offer is listed below in my Instagram in the highlights, and it's the LOA Coaching Instagram page. And then there's also my main page with my name. So yeah, reach out on my coaching page if you're interested, or there's also my email. And now let's get into the video. So the first point that I wanted to remind you guys of is the fact that law of assumption is objective. I know it's easy sometimes to get down, or when you're not seeing movement, the 3D reality may be showing you the opposite of what you want. Even if you're not consciously manifesting something, if you see something negative, it may cause you to spiral or think that things aren't working out for you. You don't know what you're doing. Manifestation is so difficult. It's going to take so much effort to turn this around. But what you actually need to keep in mind is the fact that manifestation works 24/7. It is objective. There's no on or off switch. You literally, not that you have to spend your whole day, consciously manifesting or affirming, absolutely not. But it's important to remember that even when you're asleep, your subconscious mind is still using information, it's still awake. And I'm not talking scientifically, I'm not talking about the science behind how the subconscious mind works, but generally speaking, the subconscious mind is always listening and working. And that's why overnight, for example, if you play your affirmations looped, or you pick one sentence, one affirmation, and you loop it and you listen to it all night long, the subconscious mind is still listening, and it can absolutely help you manifest that thing faster. Like for me personally, and there's loads of other people talking about this, but I've had positive dreams literally about the affirmation, where I've listened to one of my affirmations that I recorded, and I looped it so it played all night long on the Parrot app, and I had a dream about it. That's no coincidence. So it literally proves your subconscious mind will always take in information. You don't have to use your conscious mind to be able to manifest. The subconscious mind is always listening. But that's just to remind you guys that, manifestation is objective. There's no off button. It's always working. So you want to try and think as positively as you can and absorb as much positive information and engage with positive things as much as you can. Also, if you think about your actual manifestations that you're working on every day, if you are using it as a technique, and affirmations as a technique, for example, to manifest your SP or your dream car, your dream holiday, to find new friends, literally anything, and you're manifesting that by doing that, how can it not be working 24/7? If you're already applying techniques to manifest one thing, for example, an SP, why would you think that the thoughts you have and the way you engage with the topic of your career is not being affected by law of assumption? Of course it is. Every area of your life, whether or not you're creating a specific conscious goal, is being affected by your thoughts, your actions, your words, your behavior 24/7. And that's not to scare you guys or make it seem really negative, or that you have to be hyper vigilant your whole life. That's not the case at all. But it's just to remind you that, and so that you guys can be aware of the fact that actually your thoughts that you're having throughout the day, especially the ones that come up multiple times, whether it's you thinking about traffic jams 3 times a day because you're driving your car 3 times a day, that's creating beliefs and assumptions, and it is a repetitive thought, because every day, 3 times a day, you complain about the traffic jams. So they are being perpetuated. You're constantly stuck in traffic, right? So it works for everything, no matter what, even the smallest things. For example, if you assume that strangers are always really nice to you, or that you never have a problem with a stranger on the street, you'll find that people are polite to you. They let you, cars will stop for you so you can cross the road. People won't cut in front of you. You know, people are just polite, you know. Your assumptions are reflected in your reality no matter what. And it can reflect into, you know, certain things where you might think, oh, well, you know, this person was nice to me on the street, but you know, whatever, you might dismiss it and not really apply any assumption to it, but it's actually a reflection of one of your beliefs. So of course, manifestation and law of assumption is working in everything all the time, and you don't have to control everything. Obviously, it would be impossible to sit there 24/7 trying to manifest every single experience of our life. But the point is to think as positively as you can and have your mental diet so that you understand, okay, when I do think negatively, I stop it in its tracks as soon as I'm able to, and I flip it, or I affirm, or I say something positive to counteract it. It's a good practice to have in any situation. Law of assumption is literally based on the principle that your beliefs and your repetitive thoughts, which equals your assumptions, because if you have a repetitive thought, it's something that you will just start to assume and think about more and more, right? They create your beliefs and your overall assumptions about your life and yourself, and therefore they have to be reflected into your physical reality. Your 3D reality, right? So what you're seeing in front of you, the world and life you're experiencing right now and day to day, is a reflection and a mirror, technically like a mirror reflection of everything going on in your mind. So you don't always know, and I think it's almost impossible to pick up on every single belief and assumption we have, because they can be so subtle and we may never actually realize what it stems from, but they are being reflected in your reality. So the more positively you think, the more positive affirmations you do, the more blanket affirmations you do, the chances of you having a happier, more positive life that is aligned with your goals and desires, that is just way more likely to be your life, right? Like a happy, positive life, better experiences, the negative assumptions are reflected in your reality less and less. You just take that simple simple principle that your assumptions and your beliefs are what you see reflected in your reality, which means the people, the experiences, the physical, tangible objects, literally buildings, traffic jams, traveling, commuting to work, everything in your life. It's not always like, oh, I thought this thought 3 times a day, so now people on the street have to act like this. It doesn't work quite that way, but it stems from your general beliefs and assumptions and what you repetitively over and over think or tell yourself or tell other people. If you tell your friends something every single day for weeks and weeks on end, chances are it will be reflecting in your reality now or very soon. And that means, you know, a lot of repetition. I mean, over and over and over, and you're not counteracting it with something positive. Yes, you're probably going to experience that assumption and that statement that you were saying. As humans, we have approximately 70,000 thoughts every single day. That is a lot. That is a lot. And I think a lot of them just come up almost automatically. I don't think we are consciously creating 70,000 thoughts. Sometimes they are just whizzing through our mind as automated responses, right? Or reactions. So women actually, when it comes to verbal communication and speaking, women speak more than men, which I don't think is a huge shock. But specifically, if you're a woman and you are manifesting an SP, or you have a list of manifestations with a negative old story, you want to be careful with your words, because typically we, according to studies, you know, we speak more than men on average. So our words hold even more power because we're saying more out loud. So you want to be careful that you're not complaining constantly to your friends and repeating the same issue over and over, because it's just perpetuating the old story. But like I said, you might tell your friend today, work has been so difficult, and then the next day you'll see them again, or they'll text you, or you're sending each other a voice note, whatever it may be. And it doesn't even have to be the same friend, it can be someone else, but then you say, oh, work was so stressful, I'm so annoyed. And then the next day you word it slightly differently. You say that one of your co-workers was super annoying. Well, guess what? You're actually saying the same thing. You're saying that you have a bad work experience, that you're not valued at work, or you don't enjoy your work, you don't have a good work-life balance, it causes you stress. You're creating those assumptions. So you want to be careful, because slightly different wording can still lead to the same belief or assumption. So you don't have to catch every single thought, every single statement, obviously not. It's just if, like I said, if it's repetitive every single day, every single week, you know, are you repeating the same negative issues over and over and over and keeping it alive? You know, so that's where your mental diet wants to come in. And that's where you want to say, no, 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 the reality I'm experiencing is this. I have XYZ, my emotions are this and that, you know? It's just about being aware of and controlling the repetitive thoughts. If you repeatedly worry about something, you flip it into what you want. There is no traffic today. Every time I drive, it's perfect. My work-life balance is amazing. I love my co-workers. It's the most simple, positive phrase. It can just be that. You don't have to think about it a long time. You can just say it and say, you know what? I just spent 30 minutes talking to my friend on the phone complaining about work. And then you go for 10 minutes and you just loop over and over in a rampage how much you love your work. It will actually help a lot. You'll be surprised. And then you do that every day if you find yourself repeatedly thinking it every day. It doesn't take a huge amount of effort. It's just about being aware of your thoughts, because your thoughts are what are creating your thoughts are creating your 3D reality. They are shaping it, shifting it, and adjusting it to match with your beliefs and assumptions. When it comes to not seeing movement, you need to stop questioning it, stop questioning manifestation and thinking, getting into that victim mindset and saying, you know, oh, manifestation is so hard, I can't do it, I'm not good at it, I guess it just doesn't work for me, I guess I'm just not cut out for it. Anything along those lines is rubbish. Like I said, it's objective, it always works. That would be like you saying gravity just doesn't work for me. I just start floating in the air and you know what, gravity just isn't for me. Do you see how silly that sounds? It's just an objective fact in our reality, in our physical world, on planet Earth. This is just the way things work in our reality. So you can always get back on track, even if you're having a difficult time. It doesn't mean you can't do it, and it doesn't mean that manifestation doesn't work for you. So ignore the fact that you don't see physical movement. Just persist. But that is all my advice for this video. Just to remind you guys, manifestation always works. It's based on your repetitive thoughts, repetitive words, and just the assumptions and beliefs that are in your subconscious. You can always flip it around by creating positive affirmations about what you want, any area of your life. So I hope this helped. If it was useful, please do thumbs up, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and I'll see you next time. Bye!